As you all know, intermittent fasting is good. So the more you fast, the better it'll be for your health. I've been in this genomic space for about 24, 25 years now. And one of the things that is important to know is that the reason why you want to stay healthy and long is that it takes a long time for any company to actually get to where we are. So you want to stay young and therefore you'll be able to continue doing what you need to do. So we've been doing this a lot, and I think when we started in 2000, 2001, Ossimum, we did 3 acquisitions there. In Map My Genome, we started into 2013, and over a period of time, people kept saying, the sun is rising, the sun is rising, this is a sunrise industry. And one of the things I'll finally say is that we have finally come to a point where hospitals, other healthcare providers, the consumers, and everybody at least knows what longevity is all about. So I think it's great. And before I get on to our panel, I think one of the things I wanted to read out is a little poem, because that's something I want to say. There are still multiple sides to this whole thing that we have. So it's called Lo and Behold Longevity. So quest for longer days, a vibrant plea. In longevity's realm where paths diverge we see. Brian Johnson strict his youthful desire. Eric Topol with data setting research on fire. Supplements beckon, a pill for each whim, but evidence is sought where the studies grow dim. For some, instincts the guide, a personal stride where trials and metric for others preside. Tests show the gaps where the numbers are slight and doctors contend with the quacks in the light. So seek truth and wisdom on this curious quest. Let facts chart the course, putting claims to the test. For a longer and healthier life truly blessed, by science and proof standing out from the rest. I think what I want to say is that, longevity, everybody reads a book or the other, comes out and says they understand this whole science. But as you can see, health is very complicated. Health is a composite of multiple different factors. We've been seeing from the morning all the different pieces that are there. So I think one piece that we looked at was the genetics, which was saying that can you find out any genetic variants that influence our health? And they do, right? There is genetics that influence your health. But there are many other pieces to the puzzle. There's what you eat, how you exercise, and also what your gender is and what your height is. So women obviously stand at a better space than men in the space of longevity. But there are many hallmarks of aging. I'm not going through all of this. I've just thought at least I'll mention that those of you who haven't read this yet, it's important to understand that there are many cellular mechanisms, but there are also other things. Everything that we do, whether it is in terms of looking at just telomere is one piece, is not enough. If you just look at microbiome, that's not enough. If you just look at genetic instability, that's not enough. So there are many things that cause us to age. So what is important is to say, can you understand, use this data, go to the experts and make sure that you are able to make those changes so that you can actually live more healthier, right? So there are many things you can measure today. I think you can look at the part where is genetic predisposition, which 10 years ago people would still think that it was still foo-foo science. I think today we are getting to a point where people actually believe that there is a lot of data that is very valuable because you really get early signs. There is the science of microbiome, which we've recently acquired a company in Canada on this space, doing this for 10 years. We have a product, but I think the science is evolving and evolving really, really quickly. I think there are many very interesting studies. So I think microbiome is at the point where we were with the genetics maybe about 5 years ago. And then there is this whole space of epigenetics and the biological clocks and all of that. And I think that is also a very rapidly developing science, but I think there is a lot more that we need to do in that space as well. So these are just 3 things that currently are being very widely measured. There are also other metabolomic and many other studies that you can do today, but I think there are some simple things, blood tests and others, your health, the sensors that you have, so you can take information that is there. But there are easy ways to do this at your home, whether it is swab testing, stool testing, blood testing, saliva testing. So all of these today are available to everybody at home. And I think that's the part where it makes it accessible. So I think what does this mean for medical doctors? I think there's focus, and I think that's happening both in India. We are also seeing that happen in the US, that there's a focus on staying healthy, different from treating a disease. Uh, Precision when it comes to treatment, whether you're looking at pharmacogenomics, where they're looking at how you treat, look at medicines, whether they'll work for you or not. Precision in nutrition, your nutrigenomics. You learn more about your nutrition microbiome and many other facts of things that are there. But also back to family medicine, knowing the whole person as one person rather than going and thinking that somebody is just a cardiovascular problem or a endocrinology problem and so on. So what about the customers and what about people like us? I think it'll be that we visit doctors sooner because you don't want to go there after the fact. You want to make sure you understand that ignorance is not bliss. Just by not knowing doesn't mean it doesn't come. And most of the time people then find out when it's too late to do anything. Track your health, your trends, and then you're unique. So what works for that one influencer doesn't work for you. So make sure that you find out for yourself who you are and what will work for you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. And I'll try to keep it again very short, simple. And most of my questions will be rapid fire questions to the point. And I know that you all are an expert. Let me tell you, it's an honor for me to be part of this panel because they are very handpicked and you will be able to see from this persona. And as you say, someone missed the flight, it's my opportunity to host you. Okay, so so let's go through a persona here. The character's name is Vishy, age of 45, pretty active, busy doing strategic marketing activities. He wants to stay sharp, energetic, healthy for a long term, both mentally and physically. Okay, I'm trying to explain you what does longevity means. So what he does that he attends this healthcare summit and he sees this particular session and he understands there's something 2 or 3 steps required. He goes for an advanced health test, a saliva test for a DNA that he gets from a MapMy genome. Then there are certain blood tests which is required being prescribed by Dr. Sharma. For a nutrition, what is my blood sugar, what's my inflammation. Then my probiotic friend, the gut health friend, she told that you need to also get the gut test done. So I said, okay, I got it done. Then the story goes to the next step. The AI powered guys got in. They say that, hey, Vishy, it all sounds good. Now we'll tally your stats with the other thousands of other people like you. And then it says that, hey, your gut needs more fiber. You're not suitable for keto diet and don't do that keto diet. Okay. Then comes a set of doctors like Dr. Samatha. She comes and says that, okay, Vishy, I need to suggest you a personalized plan and I'll prescribe you certain good habits and you go about taking some daily supplements from via routes. Okay. Then after 3, 4, 6 months, he again comes to Indian Institute of Science. He feels to be more energetic, lost 10 kg. Okay, his digestion is better. He don't have the ear problem. Okay, with this, I would like to start this particular session. I hope that all of you might have got this, the context of longevity, which is the biggest buzzword of this particular country, I believe, and especially in Bangalore. Okay, so Hitakshi, the question goes to you. 88% of the people in the Indian population have metabolic dysfunction. Should every longevity journey begin with fixing metabolism? What is your metabolic first approach?
I hope I'm audible. Hi, thank you, Vishy. Yes, the answer is a hard yes. The metabolic approach would be to first look at a detailed description of biomarkers, look at the system's biology, look at where everything is interacting. It's never, the body is so connected, it's very difficult to say, is it mitochondria first, gut first, my blood first, or my lipid first, right? So looking at everything in an integrated way is something that longevity stands for, I think, and we must stand for that. So approach would be to maybe first talk to the person who has come to me. So I'll probably talk to Vishy and ask him, Vishy, what is it that you would like to work on first? Look at Vishy as Anu just said, as a person. Look at whether or not Vishy can actually work on the things that will probably help him, get him to a level where we can go deep dive into fixing issues that require a lot more commitment and deeper issues, right? So yeah, that would be the approach. Look at the biomarkers, figure out the root cause, talk to the person, look at what is the first requirement, and then go from there.
Fair enough. So the question graduates to Dr. Samatha. Do you think we genuinely can reverse biological age just by optimizing lifestyle and metabolism without expensive interventions, technology, or supplements? If yes, what kind of outcomes? I would like to know the outcomes through your practice. Okay. If you can share that, that would be great.
Thank you for this question, Vishi. It's very, I understand where this question is coming from. If you're not correcting your basics, not correcting your circadian rhythm, your diet, and just want to go about getting into new therapies and finally waiting for the change to happen, that may not happen because we have to fix the root causes, right? But it would come in different levels. Let me put it into different buckets. Level one could be for somebody who already has a disease. For them, disease reversal in itself is reducing the biological age by itself. So focus there is to reverse the disease, not to go for a high performance marathon, right? For them, reversing disease will reduce biological age. Next, push them into level two. Okay, where they are. Okay, reversed diabetes recently. Now, are they optimized? Is their mitochondria optimized? Are they feeling better? How is their energy, mood, sleep? And how is their performance? How is their cognitive status? How alert are they feeling during decision making? Are they brain fogged? Okay, that is sorted. Then move them into level three. They're health optimized. Okay, biomarkers are showing it's optimized. It could be blood, it could be the cognitive assessments. All them are they're on average. Now there comes an extra effort from any of the regenerative therapies. It could be hyperbaric oxygen therapy, red light therapy. Of course, there is evidence in them as well. It's just that there are not a lot of human studies on them because it's cost effective. Who's going to bear this cost? So yes, the momentum has to happen slowly, and biological reversal, age reversal happens at every step of the way. But it's what you choose, what therapy you choose, what strategy you choose will define when you require it.
Sounds good. Anu ma'am, complementing to our previous session, the question, the most people don't even have their own health data. And when it comes to the longevity part, according to you, what are the 2 or 3 essential genetic or diagnostic tests you recommend or should every person take at the age of 40 to build precision health?
So I would
baseline. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's important to do a baseline. And I think when we started, for instance, I think cost was a challenge, and now I think it is not. So I think people can do something like a genome patri. I mean, genome patri is more like a comprehensive sort of wellness thing. You can just order it to your home, you get that whole assessment done. When you get the assessment done, the counselor will correlate that to your family history and then tell you what tests are useful for you. So I think it can start with that, or it can start with somebody doing an executive health checkup. Somebody does executive health checkup, they find some things are off their parameters, they can then go in and do specific investigations. I would do, if cost was not a problem with everybody, I would first do a genetic test, then you do a microbiome testing, and then you can do the others. So blood tests, of course, I think the base level, your CBP, all of that, I think it's important to establish a baseline.
So would you like to give a ballpark offer to all of us? The best offer? 10% commission to me.
10% commission, tab to baat karni padegi.
Okay.
Yeah. So around 5,000 is what would be it's a 8,000 price point. We can do it at 5.
Oh yeah, that's. Please make a note.
Only for you.
Oh, it's for me. Okay.
No, I mean for this group.
For this group. Okay, guys, 10% commission to me as well. Okay. So, Mr. Sajeev Nair. Okay. Now we got all the multi-omics, we got doctors, everything, and I need a supplement. Okay. So the supplements are often first self-care step. Okay. How do you design the personalized stocks, and how big the role do you think they really play in extending the lifespan?
I believe supplements is a must now. If there may be other opinions, but of course, when we talk about nutrition, I believe the nutrition or the nutrients have to come from the food. What kind of food can give you that kind of nutrients is still question mark. Even if I am ready to eat all those kinds of food, There's no guarantee that I'm going to get enough nutrients. For example, magnesium. Moringa may be the best source of magnesium. But of late, the studies prove that there is a erosion of 58% erosion of magnesium from the soil. So plant cannot make magnesium anyway. It has to come from the soil. So I think a dependence on supplements is something which is going to be every single day people are going to realize, number one. Number two, like what kind of supplements? I will definitely go with what Anu said and also what the other doctors said. It needs to have a genetic profiling and also a metabolic assessment to get a proper stack prepared, not just on the blood markers, because we also do genetic testing. So we understand that there are two types of people. One is that, maybe that on a serum level everything is fine, but at the same time your receptivity towards a certain mineral may be very low. So which you will understand only when you do a genetic profiling. So I think it's always advisable for if someone is really going to invest on extending their health span, they have to go through that entire process.
Sure. So now the question goes to the medical doctor. Any one of you want to compliment in this with respect to the supplement?
I think supplements are needed.
Okay.
Especially, I think I'm yet to find somebody who's completely healthy. I'm working in the field of longevity, and health optimization remains the third step that we reach. First, it's pulling people from illness to at least basic level health level. And that requires supplementation, fixing the gut, fixing inflammation, bringing back the markers to at least a level where we can work on optimizing the health and, creating the whole longevity space. So definitely, I think all of us are using supplements there, to 100% agreement there.
Sure. The Nutra guys would be very happy to it.
I would compliment that too.
You're not audible.
People often come and say, I want to do very organic way, Dr. Samatha. Can you just put me on right kind of diet and please reverse my diabetes and don't even add pharmaceutical drugs? Oh la, what should I do? It's difficult. I mean, you want to get cellular dysfunction to your cells to function and not even use pharmaceutical drugs, and you have only definite time of a life on the planet. How many years would you want to wait to see the natural process happening with the natural foods that you take, thinking that foods are natural and soil is devoid of nutrients itself? Where are you getting the nutrients from? So in that sense, evidence-based nutraceuticals are very, very important. There's a lot of evidence coming out of nutraceuticals, by the way. For people who are against supplements, let me tell you, when a doctor is prescribing or any of these health optimization centers are prescribing supplements, we think 100 times about their interaction with other drugs you're taking or other supplements that you're taking. So it's not just given like that because they're going on prescriptions, but we would be 100 times sure before giving them. So supplements we do use. Yes.
Yes, doctor, we agree
Can I
with
just add
you.
one more point? I think in 100% agreement there. Also with supplements, there's so much individualization. If the gut is leaky, I cannot give 15 supplements together. It has to be slowly scaled up. So there's a follow-up at every 2 weeks, and I have to see how they're feeling. Die-off reaction, is it happening or not? How much of killing gut bacteria can I do? What all supplements will take care of the mitochondria in this fragile state that the people are coming to us at? So please do not self-medicate, guys.
Sure, we won't. So, Dr. Hitakshi, question to you. Okay. How do you see we can scale longevity care beyond those elite clinics? Okay. Can digital platforms or AI help deliver personalized wellness at a scale level?
It's a question that keeps me up at night. I have background in public health. I have dealt for, I think, 5 years of my career dealing with the health at national level and state level. So it keeps me, I think we have a lot of discussions. How are we going to scale it? How are we going to bring down the cost? Because even now, supplements are expensive. Testing is expensive. And in a country where people are struggling to buy food, sitting here talking about longevity and expensive treatments does give me a perspective in that sense. I think AI is going to help having perspective of Indian genomic data, because a lot of research that's coming is coming from the West. We still don't have personalization. So as to what the South Asian genome looks like and what are the therapies that are working for us. With cost and with data that we are using, definitely AI systems will make it cheaper for people to assess where they are right now and make health changes. health is not about supplements. Supplements still remain the 10% part. The basics remain the core of health and longevity. If there is no supplement to a bad diet, there's no supplement to fix a bad sleep. So until you're doing the pillars properly, supplementation will not work, right? So it can be scaled, it can be done at cost, and AI definitely has a role in streamlining diagnostics and helping doctors make decisions faster and decisions that are rooted in evidence.
Dr. Samatha, the question to you. The trendings like therapies like HBOT, cryo, PEMF, IV drops, are they really making any difference? If yes, what is it scalable, or again is it a gimmick?
It's very contextual. Who are you giving it for? Who are you recommending it for? What are they coming for? What is the health goal? Have they accomplished their basic? Did they work on their basic lifestyle changes? So it all defines who is taking therapy for what is the health goal. Why do you want to even give it at a massive scale? HBOT, you can't push 100 people into a single HBOT chamber. Why do you want to make it a massive scale? And not every person want to climb a Mount Everest. People are in different stages of health. There are some people who are still struggling in stage 3, stage 4 of CKDs, and you're thinking about HBOT for them. So there's a long way. We can't think about doing these therapies in a massive scale because it is very personalized, right? IV drip. Let me give you one simple example. We do IV drips at clinic. We choose who we give it to. If you start giving it to IV drips to very autoimmune kind of individuals with gut health disorders, I've seen this again and again. Single Myers drip, they have felt terrible after the drip. They complained of dizziness, headache, migraines, and they almost looked like they would rush for a hospital. They had fevers too. So there will be catastrophic effects and sudden electrolyte shifts, and the cells can't take it when they have bad gut health, and directly they're receiving so much electrolytes into their body. So it would be very contradictory. Similarly, HBOT, okay, out of all the therapies, if there is highest evidence to one regenerative therapy, that I would strongly say it is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. You have seen a number of single individuals, biohackers, showing the evidence that this is how it worked for them. So in that sense, we can't do a massive large-scale studies for hyperbaric oxygen therapy, but we can individualize and see, okay, what was the reason they took a hyperbaric therapy, and are the metrics measurable? If so, what is the metric looking like before the therapy and after the therapy? If so, how did it look like after 20 sessions, after 40, after 60? How are the metrics changing? So at this point in time, we're at the stage where all the outcomes should be measurable, should be very transparent, and should be repeatable. Only then you can do a large-scale study and you can push out to individuals. Even if we have to scale it, we have to prove a point. To prove a point, you should have so much data, right? And it should be a longitudinal data. So at this point in time, I wouldn't even think about pushing all these therapies to large-scale population.
Ma'am is a responsible longevity leader.
Thank you.
So the question comes to you, Anu ma'am. Stem cells, gene therapy. How close are we to? How close we are in terms of integrating these into clinical longevity protocols?
I think still not as popular. There are some good evidence for certain types of stem cell therapies that are working. There are also some for others, but I don't think it works for everything and everybody. So I think again there we have to make sure that whoever we are doing, that there is actually clinical reasons for you to do it. It shouldn't just be that you go there and everybody wants to do the same thing, right? Like exosomes, like doing a CRISPR. Everybody doesn't need it, right? So the question really is, for who is it done, right? Why would you do a stem cell therapy? Maybe somebody with a, is it the problem with the back? Is it a structural problem? Is it something that is a therapy that is FDA approved? Then yes, of course, that you will give. So I think there are some that are regulated. There are some that are currently not regulated. I would wait for something that is regulated by the FDA. And if there are other evidences, like I'm not going to just take stuff, right, myself. So I don't think I would do that for everyone. But if there is evidence, I think you build it up, do studies, and that evidence, scientific evidence should show what is there.
Sure. So Dr. Sajeev Nair, you often, when I was looking at a couple of your videos, you often talk about upgrading our mindset, habits, the inner operating system. Okay, so can you just very quickly, maybe in a 30 seconds, can you elaborate how do you combine this with biology to help people to stay healthy and live longer?
See, all this, whatever we are talking about, for implementation, you require a lot of behavioral changes because that's where I think all of them find a major challenge because you are trained, you are being, your brain is already trained in a certain pattern. And brain, I always believe, is the most trainable organ. And once you train the brain, it's unlike your biceps. You know, you train your biceps and make it stronger. After 3 months or 4 months, you don't train it, it'll become weak. But your brain, once it is trained, then it's very difficult to train the brain in a different way. So if the person who is coming for whatever, whether longevity or reversal of diseases, the reason why he is in that particular lifestyle is because of the kinds of wiring he has already created in the brain, or many wirings. And all of a sudden, you know, just a doctor gives an advice. Sometimes there could be rapid transformation, but most of the time it needs a lot of time. So you need to have, even I think these doctors, whoever is handling longevity or performance related things, I think they are great counselors. They must be great coaches. That is why they're getting results. They must be spending at least 1 hour with a patient. Yeah, 90 minutes. So I think the mindset change, or rather, a doctor becoming a coach is very, very important because a coach is the one who can actually ask the right kind of sequential questions and make a person's neural wirings change. Only a coach can do it. So, and not a counselor. Okay, counselors will dig deep into the issues, but a coach can actually make a person think the way I want him to think. So that only by sequential questions. So I think that is something.
So the clock is popping up, but let me tell you, the discussion looks to be a longevity syrup for me. I'm planning to have more and more to reverse my age. The next session when I meet, I'll reverse my age to 40. Okay, pretty quickly, I would like to ask, in a one word or maybe in a sentence, what does longevity means to you?
I think it is to be at your peak performance, if you can, right? Not everybody is going to get to the same place. So what it is for you. So optimize your own health.
Sure. Dr. Samatha?
To have good functional status of both my body and mind. For so far I live throughout my life. That is health for me.
I'd use WHO's definition, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being is where longevity is.
For me, it's living longer, healthier, stronger, contributing your best to the society, and performing at peak levels even at 100 and above. So I always make people dream about celebrating your 100th birthday after completing a 5-kilometer run with your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and after that going to the workplace which you love to do.
How cool is that?
Well, thank you very much.